Harder Brunch presents Back to Adult Summer Camp.
Sponsored by Upland Brewing and Culinary Crossroads.
August 23rd through the 25th.
We have comedian headliners Kelly Collette and Dwight Simmons.
We got musical acts Draco, Sirius Black, Philosophy of Music, and Tuesday Atlas.
Activities like archery, canoeing, campfire, swimming, crafts. Don't forget to get your tickets at eventbrite.com.
Harder Brunch. Nope, we're not going to say that together, but it's Harder Brunch.
I'm eating brunch with my people though. The homie Dyke just cooked up a feast and we bout to eat it, bro. Fucked around and has to mix the lobster with the poutine. Daddy is rolling blue dream, them boys got down a routine. It's Naptown culture, cooking 7 courses. Had to pass the torch and now I'm grabbing second portion. So sit back, relax, grab a drink and a smoke. It's Harder Brunch on the way and get prepared for the jokes. Whoa.
Hi, and welcome to the Harder Brunch Podcast. I'm your host, Dyke Michaels. With me, as always, my co-host, Thaddaeus Mckee.
Slappy, pappy, wank, wank.
On the ones and twos, the wheels of steel, the sauce, boss of Indianapolis, and the last broke dragon. Give it up for Zach Rohn, everybody.
Hey there.
And we got Casey Campbell at our producer desk with a very important message from our sponsor.
First of all, think about your cholesterol, everyone. It's just important. That's an important message. Also, make sure you try to find out the more fun stuff we do behind the paywall. Follow us on Patreon at harderbrunch /patreon.com. It's pretty affordable, and if you want to cancel these guys, that's where it's at.
Backsplash.
I feel like I did write backsplash. Backsplash? Yeah, they wrote it word for word. Yeah, that was on me.
Just a copy.
And a very special first-time guest with us in studio, comedian BT. Welcome to the program.
Man, you guys have set it out so much. I mean, this is great. I'm having a great time already. This is the greatest Sunday, I think, in a long time for me. I had stimulating conversation with words I can't even pronounce. I'm like going, what are they talking about? And then I had great food. I mean, dude, this is the greatest. Honestly, this is the greatest so far. I'm having a ball. You guys are awesome. No, thank you, bro.
What had you heard about Harder Brunch before you came on?
I didn't know. I really didn't. I mean, I wanted to be surprised. That's what I want. I like to be surprised, and I knew it was gonna be good when I saw you direct me to where to park my motorcycle. And you had the apron on. I go, oh, this is gonna be good. That's when you know, oh, he's got to throw it down. That or he just got through killing somebody in the basement. he looked like the light skin Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw. Like, goddamn, man. Get through chopping somebody up. Yeah, just park it here, BT. Trust me, we'll do the rest. Like, that's what it looked like. It was fucking great, man. I mean that.
Bookmark that, light skin Leatherface.
Light skin Leatherface.
That might just be my nickname from now on.
Did you see the last Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the one on Netflix?
No.
There's a scene in there. It's dude, it's a classic. Okay, long story short, okay, it's about these yuppies find this town in Texas, right? And they're gonna make it all, like real new and just, how it is now, bro, and everything. And they got this bus coming in with all these investors. They're young investors. They're gonna have a party in this town. And Leatherface lives in this town. And the funny thing about this, there's this woman from the original Texas Chainsaw. She's been like trying to get him back. I mean, she's been thinking about her whole life mission is to find him and kill him. He's like 15 miles down the road. All she had to do is just get in her truck and go. But anyway, Leatherface, it's true story. Leatherface comes on this bus with his chainsaw, and he starts slicing the entire bus up to the point of. But the funny thing about all these, the phones fall on the floor, and you see people going, "Is this real?" And then they have like in a little boop boop. Is this real? I want to go here. Oh my God, this is great. What town is this? And it's so in the now with this generation. It's the funniest thing you'll ever see. He slaughters the entire bus. He starts from the moment he gets on all the way to the back. He slaughters it, and they think it's a joke. They go, "All right," and all the phones to the ground, and you see people just going, "Where's this at? I gotta go. This is great, man. You gotta see it." The new Texas Chainsaw. Yeah, dude. I mean, it was about 3-4 years old. It was during the pandemic. I watched it.
Can I ask a real question though?
Yeah.
Is that a real thing that happened?
Texas Chainsaw?
Yeah.
Based on this guy named Ed Gein. Ed Gein killed people and he took their skin and made draped it in furniture or whatever.
Yeah, lampshades.
Yeah, lampshades.
Oh, he used their skin for that?
Yeah, and it was based on that. It was based on that.
Ed Gein was kind of the inspiration for Texas Chainsaw. It was also inspiration for like Hannibal Lecter and stuff like that.
Ed Gein was a fucking monster, bro.
They made
feel like
two
it was-
different horror movies about him.
I think Psycho was also loosely based on that.
Ed?
Well, yeah, just like anybody that was like keeping people or keeping pieces from people.
Wow, how many like Ed Gein movies are there? There's 3 right there.
Look at the Ed Gein lamp. See that? Look at Ed. Is that real? That Ed Gein lamp? Is that real?
Oh, that's gross.
See, I feel like he's a little
That is nasty.
a little classier than Leatherface, though. It's more like an Etsy version of Leatherface.
Yeah, it's Etsy.
Etsy horror.
I do like in horror movies. I do like in like modern horror movies now where you take it to something like a family of cannibals that live in the woods or whatever, but now like the victims are the bad guys. They're like a bunch of gentrifiers are trying to come in.
So they get what they deserve,
didn't they?
Yeah, man. But I mean, honestly, but you gotta understand that in real life, you don't really. I mean, his victims probably just thought he was like a cool little dude, probably. So Ed, come on in. Next thing you know, you're like, he's got you strung up and he's taking your skin off. I mean, because in real life, you don't know who a killer is. We just go by what's based on TV or the movies.
Yeah.
So in real life, you don't know. Like when I saw you in that, if I didn't know you and I saw you in that thing you came in on, like I would be like, fuck that, I'm not going to that dude's house. You know what I mean?
But there's some people that just give you an off vibe. There's some people that's like maybe they didn't do anything wrong, but something about it. I feel like women are way more in tune with that because they have to be. But like,
Well, I hope they are. I mean, I really do. I hope they're not just la 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 la.
I think the lampshades is the first sign. You go in there like that's kind of creepy.
There's more faces.
if
than
I
it
see
should.
human lampshades, I'm leaving immediately.
I'm gonna be like, hey, what's in the kitchen?
Nobody gonna say that's
yeah.
a deer. That's a deer lampshade. That deer was light skinned. Yeah, the deer was light skinned. Yeah, that deer was the El DeBarge of like lampshades.
Yeah.
BT, I have so many questions I want to get into because you are a person who, you're one of the few like working professional comedians in the Indianapolis comedy scene, and you're one of those people that I feel like a lot of people, everyone knows who you are, but I don't feel like a lot of people know you.
True. That's good.
And so I just had a lot of questions because like I know obviously you're a comedian and I know that you ride a bike, and I know every time I talk to you, you're cool.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Very nice to young comics and stuff. But when and how did you, I guess, get into comedy?
Man, honestly, it's one of those things where I always love to laugh. I always like making people laugh. And I grew up, in Oklahoma originally, born and raised, right? And I remember the best thing is that, I don't know if they still have them, was HBO had a free weekend. HBO Free Weekend. That's where you get HBO for the weekend for free. And they would always show like comedy, and that's what always like got me into like they showed Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor's special was like, oh my fucking god, this guy. Can we cuss on it? Okay,
Yeah. I was like, we don't. It's a family show, but
so it's like that. It was him, and I remember watching Seinfeld. I didn't know Seinfeld's name. I see him on Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and then he'd be on David Letterman. And I remember he's making me laugh so much. I go, you know what? I got to get this guy's name because he's funny. I remember, okay, Seinfeld. That's who he is. And I watched Jerry, and so Richard Pryor, Jerry Seinfeld were my favorite comics. So I always like making people laugh, and I just remember. I went to junior college, right? My dad's like, okay, you got to pick a major so you go to four-year college. Yeah, whatever. So I remember like it was yesterday. I was in my room in junior college, and I go, man, what's my God-given talent? And I go, you know what? I could always make people laugh. And it literally was like, bam. And so, and I was there for a wrestling scholarship, which is a little bit of one. And I remember I went on a Tuesday. I skipped wrestling practice. Went there on a Tuesday with my then girlfriend. And went to Kansas City. I drove, it was 55 miles an hour, 2-lane highway, 2.5, 3 hours from Miami, Oklahoma. They call it Miami, Oklahoma to Kansas City, Stanford and Sons, and we saw open mic night. And Eddie Griffin was there. Wow. I remember Eddie Griffin was doing open mic. Yeah, I remember the joke. I remember he goes, you ever see somebody's head, the kind of head you just want to thump? And I remember that was his joke. That's the only joke I remember. He goes, you ever see somebody's head and you just want to thump? my head. I remember that. So I remember Eddie Griffin, and I remember going, okay, I can do this. And then the next week I went and tried it, and it was horrible, but I still kept going up. But it was weird because it was like 18, 19 comics, right? And I remember I was just terrible. I couldn't get a laugh. But I remember sitting by myself, and all the comics would come in. They were working comics. They get together and they start talking shop. And I'd just be in a corner like this. And I just remember one comic goes, hey, man, they get you out of that shitty time slot. You'd be okay. And I go, hey, thanks, man. You know what I mean? It was that kind of little encouragement.
Yeah.
And so the next year I transferred to University of Oklahoma. And they had a comic club there. And I just remember I had a summer job at this plant. It was a paper plant. And I just remember telling myself, I go, you know what? I'm going to go up tonight. And if I don't get any laughs, then damn it, I'm just going to go to school and get a regular job and just be a regular schmo. And damn it, I went up and they just, I go, that's it. And I just remember in my mind, I go, that's it. I finished out my time in Oklahoma, boom, went to Chicago, started an open mic. And then I wasn't really good enough to start working on the Chicago scene at the time, but I would drive to like Cincinnati or Milwaukee, whatever. And that night, after I get off work or whatever, 5 o'clock, get in a car and drive to Cincinnati, whatever. And I could get work at out of state. Or whatever, and then drive back. I get home like maybe 4 or 5 in the morning and have to be up. That was back when I was in really, really good shape, and I'd have to get up like 5 or 6 and go run Lakeshore Drive, at 6 in the morning. So then I have to be at work at 9 or 10. And I was like burning the candle at both ends. But when you really want to do that, that's what you do. And I just got to the point. So I had my little connections in Oklahoma, had my connections up in Chicago, Ohio, Milwaukee, whatever. And then it all started slowly coming together. And that's how it started. Yeah, that's how I started working out.
Were you ever in the military?
Never. My dad was. My whole family was.
Okay.
I mean, basically, they spent their time in the military because the military is the best way to get out of a shitty situation you're in, but especially like if you're black. I think that's the only thing that's going to be as fair as the military. Military that's a good. Because my dad said you get to travel, you get health care or whatever.
Yeah.
So my dad did. He didn't want to stay around Oklahoma and in the 50s or 60s when you're black. That's going nowhere. So he went to the military. He's the only one that came back with a black wife. Everybody else came back with a German wife. My dad go, oh no, German wife, I'm a black woman. And it's funny because they got divorced. And my uncles are married to German women. They're still married. So much for keeping it black. Yeah, I think it's more like German women because my uncles always had German wives. They go, well, shit, I might as well give me one too. So it's kind of funny. So yeah, man. So my dad was in the military, but I'm the only one that didn't go. My dad had that military kind of. He talked to you like that.
I can tell some of it brushed off on you. So like I was like, you seemed disciplined in that particular way.
In the summer, when you're out of school, get that summer breaks where you sleep late. Now my dad worked for the post office, so he'd go to work at like 10 o'clock, 10:30, and wouldn't come home till like 9 or 10. And so we'd be sleeping. My dad would, hey, nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. And we had to get up like, okay, here we go with this shit. You know what I mean? My dad had that kind of military in him. But so I guess it did rub off. I mean, a lot of stuff now, I think I've done that as I've apologized to my dad. Go, you know what? You were right. And what he did, he wasn't like a hands-on. That was back in time when you could beat your kids. He wasn't a beat your kids kind of dude. He was just a point in the way he talked and the way he got in your face, and that was enough to scare the shit out of you. Man, my dad, but he was 6'3", 6'4". I'm sure he would have been a Black Panther if he didn't have to work and take care of 2 snot-nosed kids and a crazy-ass wife. I'm sure he would have been one, but he was just a strong dude. So he's a 6'4", hey, and he would yell, and he would straighten up like this, and he would come here and he would grab you like this. Yeah. And we were in school. I remember one time I had to go get my schedule. I was going to be in 4th or 5th grade. And I saw a teacher there, and she goes, hey. And I go, and she asked me a question. I go, yeah. And after she let my dad go, don't you ever say yeah. You say yes, ma'am. Do you understand me? I go, yeah. So my dad was like that, man.
Man, dads were scarier back in the day.
I mean, I don't know how they are now because I'm not a dad, but I mean,
they're not scary anymore.
They just because you know why? I think because that generation was so tough on us that we decided to be like, hey, I don't want to be. Yeah, we decided to be softer because we saw what that did. You know what I mean? But looking back at it now, man, it was the greatest because I respected him so much, but then it got to that time where I had to, and I wasn't going to fight him, but I had to stand up for myself. And I remember I was in my car. I was driving his car. We were going someplace, and he was yelling at me, and I couldn't take it. I was like 16, 17, and I go, would you quit yelling at me? Like that, and it was that weird silence, like, oh, shit. And I thought, oh, I'm going to get fucking hit. And we went home, and he never said a word after that. And I go, anything. And I stood up to him. I was like, whew. And I guess that was my, I think every dad expects that, where your son has to be like, hey, I'm done with this shit. If we got to throw down, we got to throw down. And I stood up, and man, it was like,
Yeah.
And he never mentioned it. I never mentioned it. And it was just a really cool episode right there. Like, I never tested him like that, but that was the only time I did. And I had to stand up to him. And I
Were
think he
you
respected
physically
that.
able to beat him up at that time?
No, because listen. Now I wrestle. I was wrestling in college at the time. My brother was a middle linebacker in high school. Okay, I came home from college. Well, I was wrestling in college. My dad, I think he came from the bar or something like that. Maybe he was a little lit. And I said, hey, let's jump on daddy. And my dad stood up and he took one hand like this and he went like this. I went flying and my brother went flying. And with one hand, I mean, he made a stand and he just goes like, they go, get off me, and did this. And me and my brother looked at it like, daddy's a bad motherfucker. I mean, and we had that look in our eye, man. The dad was, man, I'm talking, man, that is a man's man. I'm back in the 70s. I think, I just, from how I grew up and looking at everything, I think 60s and 70s, man, I think black men were the strongest they've ever been. I mean, they were just, I mean, that was strong.
Sounds like it.
I remember, but I also remember like my dad had a friend. His friend was like 6'5", 6'6". He had a tryout with the Eagles, his friend did, right? And he was a great athlete. Great. And so, you know, I was into rock and roll and shit. So I remember I came home and had an album. I bought Rod Stewart's Greatest Hits. Right, and if you see the cover, he's like in this satin robe, and he's like this. He's literally like this, and it's, you know, Rod Stewart, like it. And he had the hair. If you can pull that up, man, it'll be the greatest picture you ever seen. Pull up Rod Stewart's Greatest Hits. I swear, you got to see the picture. It'll make it that much funny, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, because I remember like it was yesterday. I'd come home. Me and my mom had just came home from Sound Warehouse. There it is, right there in the corner. See that? Rod Stewart's Great. No, in the corner, right, that right there. You pull it up. Exactly. Okay. Can you imagine being 1978, whatever? You're coming home, and my dad, we call him Big O. He go, hey, what you got there, young fella? And I go, oh, no. I go, no. He go, and I hand it to him, and I swear his face was like, he goes,
Yeah.
and he handed it back. He turned around and walked into the living room, and he didn't say shit.
Man.
Man, I was like, it was the worst feeling in the world. I mean, his eyes said, look at that cover. I mean, in the 70s, if you're a black man, you see that in the 70s, and your son has that album cover. I mean, come on, man.
Well, you never wanted to be diagnosed as gay by your dad back in that day. Like, that wasn't what you wanted.
And his friend, you know, they were two men. They all, you know, had the leather, you know, the Black Panther jackets and shit. Your son has Rod Stewart's Greatest Hits.
Well, also,
Rod Stewart.
Also, like the 70s, like think about all the amazing black music that was coming out in the 70s.
Oh,
so your son's great old Rod Stewart.
Yeah. You got Parliament, you got Barcade.
So much to choose from.
You got Rick James, and I come home with this.
Yeah. That's an act out right there. That's just like,
I came home, do you think I'm sexy? Come on, sugar, let me know. Let me know, baby. I'm taking a bath, and he's here. If you want my money, and you think I'm sexy.
You know what? Speaking of choices, guys, I just want to say this. Enter Upland. Enter Upland, guys. Upland beer is the best beer in Indiana, and I would say possibly the universe. Drink this, and you're going to feel better. Upland beer.
what are you drinking on?
Oh, I'm drinking on the pedal to the kettle. What are you drinking on? Oh, Campside.
Yeah, nice campside.
You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
Harder Brunch Summer Camp.
Nope.
Dude, this is important. We got a Harder Brunch Summer Camp coming up, and we need that button to work. Anyways, if you like Upland, if you like camping, come to our Upland Summer Camp adventure. Harder Brunch Adult Summer Camp.
Were you guys the only black people in Oklahoma?
Oh, I got the drop.
No, you mean in my town, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was about 3 or 4 cities in Oklahoma that have like a large population of black people. That's like Muskogee, which is where I was from, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and then you go down. There was an all black town called Bowley, and it was funny. And it's funny because, okay, you know Red Fox, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a town, all black town called Taft. It's a little small town. He was the honorary mayor, so every now and then he would come to Muskogee, and he stayed 3 blocks from me at this dude I knew. I don't know what this guy's parents did, but apparently they're pretty wealthy because Red Fox stayed at their house. And there's pictures of people taking pictures of Red Fox at his house. This dude, it's a black family, man. They had a lot of money. They had like a gated, he had a gate, man, back in the day. Oh, man, they got the money. And Red Fox come there in a limousine, and he stayed with there's pictures of him 3 blocks from my house. And he was the honorary mayor of a town called Taft. But there's about 3 or 4 towns.
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Honorary mayor.
Well, it's like, you know, you're not really, but you're kind of like, you're mayor. Like, you know.
What
Like,
does the real mayor think of that?
I was too young to even know if we had a real mayor. You know what's funny? I never went to that town.
Okay.
So I don't know. But yeah, that's funny.
I meet some people an honorary wife before. You're the wife for the day.
So yeah, man. But those are about the three major cities, and after that, you had little, you know, sprinkled in little towns all over. Not all over, but about, you know, like I said, and then maybe McAllister, Poto. Yeah.
What brought you into Indianapolis?
Man, I was kicking around L.A. and I lost my manager was the best manager. Right now, she's the best manager in Hollywood, and I had her when she was first started. It was Judy Brown. She manages Sebastian Maniscalco, Taylor Tomlinson, all the major comics, and I had her in the very beginning. It was me and there's a guy named KP Anderson who's a producer. He produced for Ian. He won an Emmy for just what he produced, you know. And man, I wasn't producing. Like I'd get auditions, I get callbacks. So they were like, okay, you're gonna get it. But I never got it. And after a while, it's like anything else, man. You don't produce and you're out. And so I just remember, man, it was yesterday. I remember talking to, it was Darren Carter. I don't know if you know Darren Carter, funny comic. And we both had Judy. And he saw me, we were going to go up. And he goes, so you're not working for us anymore? I go, what'd you hear? He goes, oh, nothing. I go, what'd you hear? He goes, I heard you were out. And so I called Judy next day. Now, I met Darren on Tuesday. Wednesday, I called Judy. I said, hey, you know, I hear you guys are cutting. She goes, listen, we can't get anybody to bite on you. So it's up to you. If you want to be with us, it's cool. If you don't, I understand. I said, okay. So Thursday, I had to go to Oregon, do some one-nighters in Oregon. I came back on Sunday, and all my promo, all my pictures, back when you had pictures, all my 8x10s on my bed, all my promotion, they sent back all my shit, which made me go, I guess I'm out. And after that, man, it never was the same. Like, I had to scrape and it was fucking hard because no one tells you how to navigate through this shit. It's weird. Comics tell you a lot of stuff like, hey, if you go here, man, this dude sells weed. But no one tells you how to navigate through LA or Hollywood or all that shit. So I had to do it on my own. And I'm not a good person because I thought they would do everything for me. And that was my fault, granted. And then when it was all taken away, when I had to do it on my own, man, I was like a fucking lost, you know, I was like a lost dog in the woods. So
this is going to be awkward. Well, we got Judy on the phone. She wants to say something.
Tag is you ain't shit? Is that what it is?
She wanted to say a few things. We didn't know I was going to go. And after hearing the story, I highly regret it. Actually, hang up on Judy. We don't need to just hang up on her.
You know what's funny is that she had a post because one of her people made some magazine or whatever, or maybe Taylor, whatever it was. And so underneath it, I said congratulations, and I said, you know what? I said my life has never been the same since they cut me, which it hadn't been. I mean, that was like having that. It's like your first girlfriend being Beyonce. You know, before she makes it, that you go out with her like maybe a month before she starts singing and making, you know what I mean? And then she leaves you for Jay-Z, or she just leaves you, period. And you got to go back to your regular job, and they go, hey, how's Beyonce? She's gone, and this is never the same. That's what that was like. So I put that underneath it. I go, hey man, I said my life's never been the same. And she DM'd me and she goes, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what happened, but you know, I wish you the best, and it's just that nice Hollywood shit. But I'm sure she meant it. Don't get me wrong. But it was like, you know, I still to this day go, God, just take me back. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, to this, I mean, it's not a day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think, God damn it, I fucked that up, because she's the biggest, the biggest. Her and maybe Dave Becky, who manages like with Louis C.K. and Kevin Hart and all. Other than him, man, she's like the biggest in Hollywood. I go, fuck. I mean, it's depressing, really. Every day is like that little bit, because I'm talking literally every day. And there's not a day that goes by. Literally every day I go, fuck. It's tough. I mean, that's been over. Shit, I got here in 2006. So every day since 2006, I go, fuck.
That's real.
It's real. Yeah, it's a depression that I don't show, but it really is. It's a depression that I don't show, but it's there. And it's kind of like when Tyson got beat by Buster Douglas. He never really came back. He did, but he didn't. And that's what it's like every day, every motherfucking day.
How do you feel? I guess navigate, like you said, you had to learn all these skills yourself. I mean, obviously, you're a full-time working comedian. Like, at what point were you like, okay, I got this figured out now, like enough to like?
I don't. I still don't. I mean, it's like because the landscape changes, man, and you have to stay. Shit, I don't know if I've ever been hip, but you got to see what's going on, and you don't want to be a relic. The last thing I want to do is be on stage and sound like a relic. That's why I love. That's the only word I can hang with you guys. Like, I just want to, that's why I like going up. Like, I go up Healing just because I want to get new material out. But when I go on other places, like maybe a Black Circle or the White Rabbit, which. I love that room, but I've never had a good set there. I love that room. Never had a good set.
Which one, White Rabbit or
White
Black?
Rabbit, White Rabbit. And Black Circle kind of...
No, you had a good set at White Rabbit. I've seen it.
No, I sucked ass every time I've been there. And I love it. I love the room, and it's on me. I'm not blaming anybody else. It's on me. But I've never had a good set there, and I just go, but I need that to let me know, okay, maybe I need to change some shit up. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, it's to a point, okay, I can't blame them. I mean, they're listening. When you see people, it'd be different, they had a pool table, and a Pacer game was on, and some girls, dance on a table somewhere. It'd be different. But when they're like this, and you ain't getting no response, that's on you, bro.
The ready to laugh face.
Anytime.
We're waiting, and it doesn't happen. So that's on you. So I like going up for that because I like I said, I don't want to be a relic, man. Because that's the worst thing in the world. Come on. So what about this? What about this Iraq thing? Huh? What is Bush? He's crazy, isn't he? You know what I mean? Like, how old is this motherfucker? You know what I mean? You want to be in the now, but I also want it to be an organic in the now. You know what I mean? I don't want to, to talk about some shit that makes it sound like, okay, he's trying too hard. But I just want it to be.
He just Googled slang terms today, using them all wrong.
No, exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. But the stuff I do talk about, it is me being me, though. I mean, you guys kind of know me, so it's out there. I try to take this on stage. Yeah. So it's that. No, that's how this motherfucker is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's my whole thing when I get on stage. So, man, I'm just trying to navigate the best I can, bro. I mean, it's like, who's to say if it's working or not? I mean, you know what I mean?
Right, but you're doing the podcast, you're doing stand up, you're just on a boat. Like, to me right now, like, I'm like, oh, how do I get on the boat? You know what I'm saying?
I would say no. I mean, honestly,
don't get on the boat.
If I were you, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you getting down, but man, I would. Any advice? I mean, I'm giving you advice. And if you ask me, I'd definitely give it. But I'll give you unsolicited advice. Just give it to you. I would say, man, I don't know what your goal is, but make sure you know what your goal is. Because your last thing you want to do is, and I've been there before. That's why I say this. I've been there before. There's gonna be a time you wake up, and for a split second, you don't know what fucking city you're in. You don't know what hotel it's in, and it'll startle the fuck out of you. Or you'll be somewhere going, maybe on stage, you're going, God damn, I don't want to fucking be here. Or you'll just be banging your head against the wall, like, where the fuck is this going? And man, that is a horrible place to be. And I've been there many a time where you're just like, I don't want to be here. And you go there for the money, and maybe you can't leave until the morning for whatever circumstance, and you're just like, and you just hate fucking life at that minute. That's why I have focus. Now is a great time. Like we talked about, now is a great time. Now you can, the affirmation, all that shit. I had to learn that shit on my own. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, know where you're going. Have a goal set. Know where you want to go. Know what you want to do. I mean, like the whole goal originally from this, when I was in college, was to be an actor. I said, you know what I said? I remember being at the University of Oklahoma going, okay, I want to be a feature act in comedy, just good enough so I can start doing movies and start doing it on TV. And next thing you know, and I call it the stripper syndrome, where you start getting work in comedy and they pay you. Okay, cool. And then, hey, you having a good time? You're young, you're living a dream. Okay, boom. Next thing getting paid, and then that gig turns this gig. Next thing you know, it's 3 years later, and then 4 years later, and then you turn into that stripper who's like, she's not hitting the table dances anymore like she used to, and she's like, hey, and why is all these young bitches getting these? Oh my God, you know what I mean? And that's what it is. So you got to realize what's going on and try to say cognizant. That's why I tell people, man, have a goal set on what you want to do, not what everybody else does. Because some people, I think, move. I've seen it happen with comics here. They'll move to LA or New York, whatever, without that goal, and they just go there because they think that's what we're going to do. And then you get there and you're having trouble making money, or you don't really know what you want to do. You can't go up, or when you get there, you ain't gonna go up at the good places. You're going with little shitty places. I mean, you'll go to a place that has maybe it'd be like this. It'd be like not this place is shitty. I'm just saying. No, what I'm saying is you going at a gig like hey, I got a room for you, and it's a room like this, and it's maybe a microphone in the corner. You know, and there's like 6 chairs. And, you get there like, okay, this is where the dream starts. And you can only keep that up for so long before it starts beating you down. Yeah. So you got to know what you want, put a timetable on it, and have them goals, man. Otherwise, you're just going to be chasing chasing your tail, man. We're in
Lack
circles.
of vision, dreams perish.
Oh, my God, that's fucking beautiful. Who said that?
I think that's biblical, but...
Lack of vision,
somewhere.
Dreams. Dude, yeah, bingo. That's it, though. That's it. Without faith, God damn it, don't get...
You said it.
Faith is nothing. No, faith without action is
dead.
Faith without works is dead.
Faith without works is dead. You let me just dangle like that instead of lending and help me up. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that's what it is. I feel like she's my wife.
Shout out, Kat.
I feel like she's my wife, and she's pissed off at me at a fight we had that you guys don't know about.
In front of us,
but before we got here,
before you guys got
like right before we got out the door, she and that's why your mama's a bitch. And we got out of the car, and I'm like,
you got to be on.
And she's going, and that's why your motorcycle got repossessed.
Look up that Bible verse by yourself. Have God help you. Remember that promise we made in front of him? Over.
Oh my God. I think it's time for us to take a Tinker Coffee break on that note. Tinker Coffee, BT, you got to enjoy the Tinker Coffee earlier.
Dude, that is, I'm not even saying this shit. Man, I was just speaking my mind.
Yeah.
That coffee is maybe the best coffee I ever had in my motherfucking life. Dude, when you said it, I go, okay. I wasn't trying to dispute you. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And man, I was like, oh my God, dude.
It's legit, right?
Too legit to quit. Hey. Yeah.
That's the commercial.
Yeah. Hey. Too legit. Tinker Coffee. Hey. Let me tell you something. We talk about coffee around the world, and we've had coffee around the world. Yeah. I'm not trying to brag, but me either. Yeah. It was just fact.
So good.
This coffee right here may be the best we've ever had, ever. I mean that. Great coffee.
You can have it delivered straight to your door with a coffee subscription, and if you use promo code BRUNCH, you get 25% off your first order.
5% off.
I was at my apartment maybe 4 days in April. That coffee would just be wilting away. I don't know if they can wilt away, but yeah.
Somebody
you take it with you. Take it with you.
Drone deliveries.
Drone delivery
on your bike.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the ocean. All of a sudden, that's for me, guys. That's for me. Yeah. If I find a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean, that's for me, guys. It's my coffee. Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
This week on the After Brunch Podcast.
So anyways, long story short, this was his crowd. He killed. This was his crowd. He killed. People were standing up, clapping and
out of breath.
He turned it into white people into a black comedy club.
That might have been the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah, why is that white lady throwing her shoe? I don't even understand. That doesn't make sense.
Why is she calling him stupid?
Yeah. It looked like a Pentecostal church for a second. I was like, holy cow, I have to follow that? And it spooked me. I'm not gonna lie, it spooked me.
Join us at patreon.com/Harder Brunch.
Loving it.
Welcome back. We're here talking with comedian BT. And now it's time for our Smoking Goose brunch breakdown. Smoking Goose, our favorite high-end butcher shop located at 407 Dorman Street. If you need a charcuterie board, if you need any kind of smoked meats, anything like that, Smoking Goose is your go-to. And today for brunch, we did not use any Smoking Goose products.
When did you realize that it was a vegetarian menu, Thad?
Well, when we were eating the chicken, I was like, this is great chicken.
But this is
and
different.
Everybody had kind of look on their face, and they're like, yeah, chicken. And they thought I was in on the joke, and I'm like, no. And then they told me this is not real chicken. It was it mushrooms? No, no spoilers. Sorry, go ahead and do your.
So I asked BT about, and you said you were you didn't eat meat. You said you were vegetarian, and I was like, okay.
But how long have you been a vegetarian?
Probably going on 10 years now. 8 to 10 years now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it, man. I really do. I mean, it's like, if you ask me, I'll tell you, but I won't be those kind of people that push
You
it on
don't
you.
force it on.
Yeah,
anybody.
not like religion and shit. It's like, it's good for me. It's weird because I always tell people, vegetarian, borderline vegan, kind of like being a born again Christian, but you only go to church on Easter Sunday. Kind of like that, you know what I mean? You know, like, hey, I'll see you after the draft. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like that, man. So yeah, it's like actually I'm more vegan when I travel. It's weird. I'm actually more vegan when I travel. You know, but yeah, I'm definitely vegetarian. I love it. It's the best. It's a great time to be it now because I mean,
so many options.
Thank you. So many options. I mean, almost every restaurant has a couple things that are vegan or vegetarian. So it's easy to travel that way now, man.
I was a vegetarian for 12 years, and I started in the 90s, and there was not a lot of options back then.
No kidding. And you just said you quit it. You said that you're done. Why'd you quit?
I quit. I had done it, and I liked it. I liked the feeling of it for a while. I wasn't like particularly like an animal rights person or anything like that. I just liked it. And then after a while, I was just kind of like, I was trying to like diet and stuff, and I was just like needing more protein. And I was just like, well, why am I married to this anyway? And I was like working at I was a cook, so I cooked meat all the time. I didn't have a chicken wing until I was like almost 30.
Really?
Yeah.
And did it change your life?
Yeah. It's like, I've been missing out for years.
I'm the exact opposite, where I've had another chicken wing but you know what's funny? My asterisk is when I go visit my mom. And I haven't told my mom I'm vegetarian, so like she makes sure, okay. So for like 3 days I eat chicken because she makes chicken work. When she picks me up from the airport, we go back to her apartment and she has a platter of chicken wings and I eat chicken and that's it. And then it never fails. I'm there for usually 3 or 4 days. So I ate chicken the first day, and I'll throw up either the second or third day. I just happen to I'll throw up, and just it happened to throw up. My stomach get upset, and I throw up, and then I go back to being okay again, and then I leave her house, and then I won't have meat again until I see her again. So that's my about 3 days I go off the off the wagon.
Sometimes, and I think vegetarian cooking is very fun and very easy. I feel like vegan cooking gets a little bit more difficult sometimes when you're trying to impress people, you know. And I feel like with Thad, he always gets sad when we do vegan days. So
He doesn't tell me anymore.
So we had Zach and I had a little side quest. So first of all, we want to make something that you enjoy. That's first and foremost. Two, it's like we want to make it for you. It's like you messaged me this morning. You're like, "Are we still doing this?" I'm like, "Bro, I got everything lined up for you."
I was just making sure, man. Yeah.
But so like that's first and foremost. But then second of all, it's like, okay, how do we tie in his love of motorcycles in this? All right. And then it was like the side quest is, how many things can we get out before Thad realizes there's no meat coming?
Dude, I that is so great. When you said the MotoGP, man, I go, yes. I live for that shit. I mean, I really, that's the only reason I go to Europe on my, I work literally to save up money to go to Europe and watch motorcycle races.
What got you into motorcycles?
When I was a kid, my dad got me a Honda Z50 in 3rd grade.
Oh, wow.
And after that, man, it just, I rode a motorcycle till, I thought I was gonna get like a 125 because I rode it till like 3rd grade to like 5th or 6th. And I should have probably got 125. And then my parents split up, and then they went their motorcycle dreams. And then so I've always had my eye on them. But I was traveling, doing comedy, so I couldn't really get a bike then.
Yeah.
And then finally, man, when I moved back here, I think the year before I moved back here, I started getting back into motorcycles again for some reason. And I go, at the way I was living in LA, there was no way I could afford a motorcycle and, rent and all that stuff. And when I moved back here, my buddy got a motorcycle, and that started again. And we had a friend, and he had a bike, but he was scared of his. And I rode it. And I go, let me buy it off. He goes, yeah. He wanted to get rid of it so bad. I got a great deal. Like I paid him, I forget how much money. I was supposed to pay him $180 a month for I don't know how many, a year or two.
Yeah.
I think after about 3 or 4 months, he goes, yeah, just take it. I said, cool. And I got the bike, man. Yeah, seriously, he wanted to get rid of it so bad. Oh, that's my bike. It's beautiful. Isn't that bike beautiful? And yeah, it's been more than an obsession. It's like, that's what I fucking live for pretty much. Like I love comedy, but motorcycles are right here, bro. Like when I go to vacation, I go to Europe and I watch motorcycle races, and That's all I give a shit. I don't care about who built that fucking city. I don't give a shit about what museum is there. I should go for motorcycle racing.
Do you consider yourself a adrenaline junkie? Like, do you love to go fast? Like,
it's funny. I like going fast on a highway in the city. That's dangerous because cars pull out in front of you, and
potholes.
This city's the most horrible. This city broke my. It bent my rim. I just spent $800 to fix my motorcycle rim because it bent it. The city's the worst when it comes to potholes. But then I got a dirt bike also, and I rode motocross yesterday at this little farm, which sounds like so slaverish. But this farm in Muncie. In Muncie,
they have motos in slavery.
Yeah. As far as we know, you never know. They rewrite history. We may have been the first motocross champion. You don't know, but yeah, they had there's a motocross track in Muncie, so I rode yesterday, and that's what I love to do, man. Motorcycles and comedy. I mean, it's like I'm living the dream. I just want more of the dream.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I'm living the. You do comedy for a living.
Yeah,
that's living the dream.
That's awesome.
So when I want, so I'm trying to act. I've done 2, independent movies lately that did pretty well. So that's what I really want to do. And then in the meantime, I fucking ride my motorcycle and I go to motorcycle races. I'm living the dream. I just want more of the dream.
Yeah, that's great.
It's fucking awesome,
Because from the outside you're killing it. From the outside, Thad and I are looking at you like, man, he's doing it all. He's doing all.
I mean, you always want more, so it's weird because you guys don't see the part of me go, I owe this much for this, you know what I mean? But other than that, I do, man. I mean, I got a nice apartment now, and I had a roommate for like over 10 years, and we kind of got into it, but it was time for me to leave anyway, so it's no hard feelings at all. So I got my own place, and I'm happy with that. And I mean, I'm just when I look back, I stand and look back from afar. I'm living a fucking great life. Yeah. I might need a little bit more. I can see why people get married now, because sometimes you need that somebody to be on you to do this and that, because I'm kind of lazy where if I don't want to do it, I won't do it.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about sex.
No.
Fuck. I be on you to do this and that. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
I need that. I need somebody into that. Here's what I need. I need somebody who's about 33, 34, and she's maybe got kids. She's really busy. And she's not all about the lovey-dovey shit. She's got to get her career on. And she might can fit somebody in once or twice a week. Bingo. You know what I mean? And she won't get offended like, that was great. Yeah, I gotta go too. And it'd be perfect for me. You know what I mean? Like,
I think you're talking about a prostitute. I think that's what
you know what's funny? I was in Amsterdam, and I remember, they got the red light district where the girls are in the window. Yeah. And it was 2 things. One, I was trying to talk myself into it. I was like, I don't think I could do it. But at the same time, when those girls saw me, they would turn their back on me and I go, are you serious? Like they see me, and they go, no, you're black. And they would turn their back and go, are you fucking serious? Yeah, except for this one. She was like, kind of like my age, whatever. And she was just, like, other girls were standing. She was sitting in a chair. She was tired of shit. She was tired of shit. Hey, do you want to do this? And I was like, nah, it's okay. But I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time for another profession, baby. Because she literally was in a lawn chair in the window. She was sitting down. All the young girls were like, yeah, come see me. And she was like like her feet hurt. Like she got up doing a second shift at Walmart. Some shit. Yeah. All right, who wants a blowjob? Anybody want a blowjob?
I would always pick her every time.
You should, because those are the best. They'll just talk nasty enough where you go, I'm good. They get that nasty talk.
Yeah, you learn something after you get done. Yeah, absolutely.
I love the fact that you're sitting there in your head like, do I do this? Do I not do this? What is this? And what kind of man am I going to be if I do this? And they're all like, sorry, nigga.
Dude, I literally saw them look at me and go, oh, God. And they turn their back on me and go, really? You're fucking selling yourself, but not to me? Are you out of... I mean, I was offended. And they're the ones... They're a prostitute. They're a sex worker.
I get it, though.
For some reason, I don't know why. And granted, the girls you meet at bars or on Tinder or whatever, they could be worse, actually. But I don't know. Maybe it's just that knowing that's what they do for a living. Maybe that's it. I don't know. And who's to say that I might change my mind later on? But I couldn't bring myself to do it. I was like all ready for it. I had my credit card. I was gonna put on my credit because who was gonna look? I don't give a shit. Who's gonna look at it? It's just me on me. Yeah. But I was like, and then this one woman got mad at me because I didn't. She goes, "Hey, you want to come in?" And I go, "I'm good." She goes, "See, I swear." She goes, "You don't like pussy? You don't like pussy?" I go, and I want to go, "Yeah, but I don't want your pussy." You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to be mean to her, but she was mad at me. She was mad at me for not choosing her. But she goes, "You don't like pussy? You don't like pussy?" "Yeah, but I don't want your pussy." Yeah. True story.
Aggressive sex pitches are always weird. Like this.
But it's never the ones you want that aggressive.
I remember when I was like, 100%. When I was turning 21. I want to say it was a day or two after my birthday. I walked into a strip club, my first ever strip club by myself, the sun was still out. I walked in on the west side to this club.
Which club was it? Which club was it?
It was the one that was right behind the KFC over there on Georgetown Road. Babes, I think it was called Babes.
Right behind the KFC. That's a great place. After you go see some titties, hey, let's go get a 2-piece.
First of all, it was called Babes, and it was false advertising. Second of all, I remember I walked in. Mind you, I'm 21, just wet behind the ears. I remember this woman was on stage, and she leans down and she goes, "Do you want some 40-year-old titties in your face?" And I was like, "Ma'am, I can't think of anything I'd rather not have." You're my mom's age.
I can't think of anything else that would rather not have.
Why would you even mention your age, though? Yeah. You want a 40-year-old titties? It's like saying, "Hey, you want a stale Coke? You want some 3-day-old Coke?
Do you want some expired titties?" Expired.
I'm sure I look like a fetus walking in. You know what I'm saying? Like 21. Like I look like a baby child walking in. But
some
yeah,
40-year-old titties.
I will never
That
forget
sounds
that.
so good right now, though.
Yeah,
that
now,
sounds
now,
fucking.
now.
That sounds.
You think she's
great.
still working there?
I would put that between 2 pieces of bread. That would be my 2-piece right there.
And the thing about that, they could still be 40 years old, depending on what she did. Depending on the procedures. That's always been her pitch. They're always 40.
All right.
They're always yeah.
Let's get into this. Let's get
She's
into
80.
this. Let's get into this food menu. Zach, take it away.
So I started out with the salad. I called it a green flag garden salad. I just used it as an opportunity to put all sorts of stuff in there. There was like snap peas. Yes. I made a green goddess dressing, which is just a bunch of herbs and like yogurt.
This is really good.
It was great. I mean that, man. That I wasn't just whistling Dixie. That shit was so good. I mean, because remember, she embarrassed me by going, "Are you done?" Because it was nothing on the plate. Nothing on the plate. I mean, it looked like. Did we give you a salad? That's what it looked like. I ate everything. It was so good, bro. It really was. That was a great lunch.
Thank you.
And then the next was the French onion soup.
Oh, I don't even like French
wild.
onion soup. I don't want to be mean. I don't even. And I damn near drank all that shit. I mean, I had dipped it. That shit was so fucking good.
Well, thank
So you don't like it, but today you're just like,
usually
this is-
French onion soup. I mean, I would skip it, but
Yeah.
I'm not a rude dude. Fuck yeah, you my boys.
Yeah.
And after that first one, and I was like, "Are you fucking?" I almost said, "Hey, y'all got any more bread?" I was going to dip it and get the rest of it.
Yeah.
That's how good it was. If you were looking, paying attention. Remember, I was taking my fork in it, and I was like that because I didn't have a fucking spoon, so I was taking my fork and I was doing that. Yeah.
Oh,
Seriously.
Zero
Yeah.
spoons.
So when I was a kid, if we had any kind of celebration or whatever, my grandparents we'd go to Steak and Ale. Do you remember Steak and Ale?
Oh yes, I see the prime rib there when I ate meat. Yeah.
So like we'd go to Steak and Ale, and my grandma would always get the French onion soup, and it would just come, and it's just like I'd never seen. She didn't make anything like that at home. I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
It's just this big crock. It's bubbling hot, and there's just cheese melted off the side of it, and it smelled so good. And I was a very picky little kid.
Yeah.
I didn't like onions or vegetables or anything like
I know,
that.
yeah.
But I would just pick that cheese off, and it would do something to you. It was like something just soaked in that onion broth.
Yes.
And just eating that cheese. And it got to the point where she'd be like, "Hey, you can't eat all my cheese," you know. Like, 'cause I was like, "I can just eat the top part for you if you want."
You know, that was like that Hostess cupcake. You eat the top of the cupcake because they had all icing. That's what that's like. You eat the top part, and then the second part, like, I don't like that white shit, but the top part, and that's what the French onion soup is like.
Yeah.
You just love the fondue part, and you dip a little bit, and oh my god.
Yeah, what bread did you use? Amelia's?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That shit was so good, bro. I mean, I was gonna come back in the kitchen and get some more if we weren't in deep conversation and me trying to, use the thesaurus on the words you guys were using. I was gonna do that. Yeah. I mean, that's how good that shit was. That soup was fucking delicious.
We can't take care. Kat brings up the communal IQ by coming over of all of us.
Yes, she did.
She's like a walking thesaurus.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, she really is. Matter of fact, if I got an argument with her, I had to just shut the fuck up and have her just keep talking. Hopefully she tire herself out, Have her do the rope-a-dope. Be the water-dope. She just talked too much. She's
gonna fall asleep eventually.
Yeah. Eventually I'm gonna get her and bring her down to this level. About junior college level. Yeah. Yeah, man. That was great though.
And then the next one, I went to the farmer's market and my boy Duncan, shout out Duncan. He was working this his friend's mushroom booth, and I want to make sure I get this correct.
I can't believe those were mushrooms.
I can't believe it's all mushrooms. I thought I was taking a picture. Well, and I can't find it, but we'll pepper it in later. But got these beautiful blue oyster mushrooms, and then I got the mushroom. I was like, I know that I wanted that to be the protein before I even knew what I was gonna cook. And then I was just like, oh, what can we do? I was like, oh, like Nashville hot chicken. And I was like, can we do like a Nashville hot chicken with this mushroom? And I was honestly kind of surprised how well it turned out. Like,
dude, that was incredible. I mean, that was tasty. It was everything, bro. It was everything. That was delicious, bro. I don't know what it was. I was like, okay. I just said, it's plant-based, right? I was like, sure. That's all I cared about. And that's all I cared about. And it was, yeah. It was everything.
The fact that I found out that it was Nashville hot kind of does take it away from me a little bit. It wasn't spicy, right?
it wasn't that spicy.
Well, mine was. It was good.
Yeah.
But now that like there's a name place to it, I was like, oh, that was supposed to be Nashville. That's what you were aiming for.
Like, if out of a 5-star Nashville hot chicken, what would you rate today? What you had?
Like a 0.2. That's not bad.
Damn.
I mean,
damn.
I've had Nashville hot chicken.
Yeah.
And like the batter was good. Like it had that nice batter and those fries.
You tasted a fried chicken sandwich. You did not get a hot chicken sandwich.
It was just Tennessee chicken.
Mine was perfect for me.
Yeah, it's okay. I feel like the guests don't ever want to like say anything
no,
bad.
I wouldn't. If it wasn't good, I'd be like, hey, I give it a. But no, it was perfect
great.
for me. It was perfect for me.
It tasted great.
I didn't need ketchup or nothing. It was perfect. And I'm an Oklahoma dude, so ketchup goes on everything.
Did you try it? What type of hot sauce did you use? I'm not trying to shit on your food. You know that. But what type of hot sauce did you use?
I did. You don't use hot sauce on
for Nashville?
No, you don't use hot sauce on.
Maybe I'm misinterpreting what Nashville's supposed to be.
Yeah, so when you make a Nashville hot chicken sandwich, you put spices
in the oil
in bowl, and then you take the hot oil and you mix it together, and then you dip it in that.
Oh, so it doesn't need to be spicy.
It's actually an oil.
I mean, it's cayenne. I don't know. There's a shit ton of cayenne pepper in it. Like it.
But it wasn't uncomfortable.
It was so good.
No, it was perfect. It was, man. If you guys ever get a chance, you should go. There's 2 vegan restaurants. I mean, because usually it's kind of funny to me that most vegan restaurants are always like, it's kind of a business that's where like it's really cheap. Like you'll get like a vegan restaurant, but you can't eat there, or they may have one chair. You know what I mean? but there's 2 places I've been. One called the Modern Vegan in Las Vegas, which I'm going there next month. I can't wait. It's called the Modern Vegan. It was macaroni and barbecue beef brisket mixed together. It's all vegan restaurant, motherfucker. And then in Dublin, Ireland, there's a place called the Spicy Cow. In Dublin, I ate there twice in one day. That shit was so fucking good. Yeah, Spicy Cow and Modern Vegan. And there's this, and I was in Austin, and they put this place. It's how vegans are, man. Because I say it's always like a cheap restaurant. It was inside a Whole Foods.
Okay,
but man, it was a steak sandwich, all vegan. Steak sandwich, the greatest steak sandwich I had in my motherfucking life. You wouldn't have known it was a vegan. I mean, it was that good. I checked to make sure. Dang. Man, it was inside a Whole Foods. Man, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, it was. I think it was mushroom based. I think it was unbelievable.
What about that dessert there, Zach?
So the last thing.
Oh yes.
I made a trophy cake is what I called it, but it's a checkerboard cake, and so when you cut it in half, it made a checkerboard design. Yes. It just involved like cutting a bunch of cakes in circles and then stacking them in kind of a concentric design.
No, like a checkered flag. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was so. It's all about the detail. Creative. That was beautiful, bro.
Creative. That buttermilk.
I don't think I don't appreciate
it. Was a buttermilk cake, and then I split the batter in half and just put cocoa in half of it.
The cocoa, it just like the frosting was awesome. And it wasn't overwhelming either. It wasn't like, oh, I'm having way too much sugar right now. It was just really good.
It was just the perfect. You guys, I don't know why you don't have a little restaurant, man. That's how good your shit was, and the way you presented it. You would come in and I was like, man, you need to be on Chopped or something and say you're a comedian. And honestly, I think it would help also, get people coming to your comedy. If you can somehow find a way to get on Chopped, or Beating Bobby Flay, but you had to probably be in a restaurant and do that. Beating Bobby, I'm telling you, man, you could. Oh,
Yeah. I
help
mean, they're
everything.
great.
Yeah, I mean, that was none of my even saying this to gas you up. It's some real shit. That was restaurant quality shit.
Well, thank you.
Restaurant quality. I mean, your presentation and everything, and the way you came out with that cake. Oh my! And the way you cut that motherfucker, and it had with the checkered flag as a filling. Man, that's restaurant quality. It wasn't like my grandmama made me this. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can tell. I mean, this was like, it's kind of uneven and shit. Eat that lemon cake that's got like a dent in the middle or whatever. Eat it, baby. No, this was restaurant quality shit.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
I feel like the restaurant is Harder Brunch and it's open one day a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, you need to start charging people. That's like
Yeah, it's
we
more
do
like a
this.
food pantry.
Yeah. we do pop-ups. We just did a
He's in charge of our marketing, by the way.
we just did a dinner for Indianapolis Monthly, excuse me, and we served like 160 people in Carmel, and we did a joint dinner with Gomez Barbecue, and so we get to do some fun stuff like that, and but like I also I like cooking for who the best customers are, like people that come over as guests, and then we really get to hit them with hospitality.
Yes.
And it's not like random people coming in and, well, I didn't like this. It's just like people that are grateful.
You know what you might want to do, man? Get a food truck, temporary food truck, and coincide that with comedy, like on a Sunday night, maybe at the Black Circle. You know how they do comedy at night sometimes on the outside? Get a food truck, and it's you cooking, and then you go on stage too. You go on stage also, AC, you cook, and then you go on stage and do some time, and then go back to the food truck. I'm telling you, man, you got to do something because you cook too well and you're funny. You put those two together and people see you do those two together. If you get a good ass food truck and you do some outside comedy or an open mic that's outside, they got little outdoor patios, especially coming up in the summer and the spring.
Yeah.
Maybe you could rent a food truck out for a night or whatever. Say, hey, can we have this food truck? Have your little logo on it, man. I don't know what you're going to call it, but still, dude, it's restaurant quality shit. And then you do comedy. Dude, I'm telling you.
Well, Thad and I are about to do a cooking comedy show in Chicago. We're about to sign up for it.
Really?
Yeah, it's but Thad doesn't have the cooking background, so
You can teach him a little thing. I mean, it's serious. I mean, that's how you do it. I mean, have him make something simple.
Yeah.
Something which is not
Peanut
bad.
butter and jelly.
Hey, if it's gourmet style, people buy it. Maybe you toast it a little bit, or make it where it's like a little bit different. You know,
I'll have Zach help me with the sauces because he's the sauce boss.
Yeah, we'll send you.
I want to
some
make
sauces.
a Thai peanut butter and jelly.
oh,
You see what I'm saying?
spicy cinnamon peanut butter.
like the one I made you
Did I just steal your idea?
on the air.
Do want to apologize, but it was good. All right.
But no, I think we.
Add some time in there.
I think we would have fun with this, getting you ready for. You can do the brunches.
You know how many people like pull me aside and say, "I want to teach you how to cook."
have you
so-
gotten a lot of that?
Yeah, like there's actually some chefs, like profound known chefs right now that are in my ear and my DM saying like we're gonna surprise.
And then record that. I mean, do maybe like a little documentary, have people film that.
Yeah.
And before you do that, dude, I'm telling you, man.
But it doesn't feel good to be like. I feel like you watch like the blind kid playing football. You know what I'm saying? That's I feel like that kid. Like, hey, like we let him. Everybody fell down and he ran a touchdown. Like I feel like that kid, the special kid. Like he's gonna go in. Like people are helping me in the kitchen. All right, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm a cook. And they're like, yeah, you are a cook, Thaddeus. You definitely are. You're just like Dyke and Zach. That's how I feel. So I don't need like a makeover, extreme makeover of how to cook.
Well,
I need a montage.
yeah, for sure. Put your big boy apron on.
Yeah.
I like that, man.
Why are there 17 people around me right now in the kitchen?
It's funny when you say that. I used to own a food truck, and it was an experience. It was definitely something I'm glad is behind me.
Okay.
So it's funny when you were saying that and you were very passionate about it. It like triggered my PTSD. I was just like, I'm back on the food truck. I can smell the flames. Oh God, I'm going down.
Can you I mean, I know we only have a little bit of time, but can you tell them your first food truck experience? It's such an epic story.
Oh, I don't know.
You had a lot of people there.
I don't know if epic's a strong word. Well, we invited, you know when you very first start comedy, you can get everyone to come out.
Yeah.
Because you haven't burned any goodwill yet.
Yeah.
I did this with this food truck where I was like, I went to culinary school for 4 years.
Where?
The Art Institute of Indianapolis.
Nice. Okay.
And then, and then I opened this food truck, and I invited everyone I had ever met, my family, friends, neighbors, and my business partner did the same. And we had the guy that sold us the truck was shady, and like it was like up is down, left is right, and basically he had wired the truck one way and labeled it the opposite. So the second we plugged it in, we were like, it just like was pulling its own power, and like it just like nothing worked. So it's just like nothing worked. Like the water pumps didn't work, the power wasn't like went off, and all this stuff. We had a line of I'm not exaggerating, 100 people in line. Like we had the news was there, like it was as bad as you could think. It was like it's like that's why like when things go bad in comedy, and now I'm just like it's not like bombing on a food truck, because this was like you're not trying to be funny, you're trying to be the most professional version you've ever been, and then just to have everyone you've ever met watch you fail. And then the news has a camera in your face as it's all burning up.
Did the health department show up?
The health department shut us down. The health department shut us down.
Wait, after people ate, or people are still in line?
People are still in line. People are in line waiting on food.
That's a bad sign. F.
Hey guys, this is not safe. I don't know if you know this guy or not, but this is not safe. Hey, dude, Channel 21, get that on there.
I wonder, could you kill yourself with a food truck, or you park in the garage and you die smelling like chicken, and you just fried chicken, and that's how you die, with carbon monoxide mixed in with fried chicken smell.
I mean,
that'd be a great way to go out, wouldn't it? I mean, wouldn't it?
You just described working on a food truck. Like there was so many times where I have to like
people. Sorry, go ahead.
There's so many times I have to like step off and just get fresh air because like we had a bad ventilation system. So it was just like yeah.
How many food trucks exploded in front of you while you're in the business?
I mean, I didn't see any in front of me, but there was this one exploded.
It's like a war zone out there.
One exploded as we were filing to get our health permit, and then like so everyone sent it to me. Anything that had to do with food truck, everyone's like, "You see that movie, Chef?" I'm like, one more person asked me if I see the movie, Chef. Like, of course I have. I owned a food truck when that movie came out, but everybody be like, "Oh, did you see that food truck that blew up?" And they're like, "That's not you, is it?" Like,
you did. Wait, sorry, did anybody die from it?
Yeah, I think so.
Whoa, what happened? Like, what happened? Like,
they had a propane tank, but instead of being outside, they brought it on, and then they were like, they were frying. I don't know. They were doing something with propane in, and it spilled, and it like blew up, like a bomb.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah,
but. I mean, they were eating, right? I mean, you went out. I mean,
really cool eye there.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was,
yeah.
The health department's like, you know what? There's no germs here,
and there's no person here.
We should do a food. You should add food and comedy together. What if we did like a podcast? No, I'm just playing that.
Where we like cooked food and then did. No, I'm just kidding. Can you drop a beat for me there, Zach? I like to bring everything to a screeching halt at the end. That's how we like to end every episode.
Dude.
BT, thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you guys. I mean that. Thank you guys. This was my fucking pleasure, dude. Y'all are cool dudes anyway. And then I met some cool ass, but like I said, I feel like I was at an abolitionist meeting. We had like 3 white people that were really nice going, "Good luck, guys, and everything. And we're going to get you up north where you'll know how to read and have a big vocabulary."
This was just a vocabulary intervention for you, BT.
I feel like Frederick Douglass. No, man, thank you guys. Honestly, it was a great pleasure. That way I get a chance to really, really sit down and talk to you guys.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And we kicked it with great food, great people. This was just, Man, it's a great experience. Thank you guys so much, man. I mean that.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming, and let people know where they can find you on social media.
I mean, I'm big, you know me, I'm big into Instagram, BT_comedy, BT_comedy. And also I have my minute-long movie reviews on TikTok. I got like 36,000 fans on there, man. So it's a minute-long movie reviews. Any movie that's come out, I see within I try to see it within the first or second week. It depends on, how my schedule is. But yeah, and I just do reviews of music. It's a minute long, so if you got a minute, you know what I mean? So so I do that, and then also check me out on YouTube. It's also BT Comedy. So yeah, that's where I'm big at.
Hell yeah, Thaddaeus J.
You can find me at Thad Mckee. That's Instagram, Twitter, X, and everything else.
Zach Rome.
You find me at Zach_Rome on all social media.
Casey Kibble.
You can find me going to the Harder Brunch Summer Camp coming up very, very soon.
Love
Look
it.
for that on Eventbrite. You lovely, lovely people. You can also find me just being weird on the internet at Danger Brewer on Instagram.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening, and check out our Patreon. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Patreon.